Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to go over Mamoswine EX, and I absolutely adore this card. I think it's fantastic. It has a bunch of really good synergies in this deck, and I absolutely love this thing. I think this is going to be a really fun deck. I have a full breakdown or a full analysis at the end of the video, so stay tuned because it's going to go into more detail about what I think could change, what I think its potential meta levels are, whether I would bring this to a cup or a challenge, stuff like that. So stay tuned into the end to find out what I have to say about this after playing it for a while. But let's go ahead and get into it. We've got the Mamoswine EX with its Mammoth Hauler ability. I love this thing. Once per turn, go search your deck for a Pokemon. Any Pokemon, it doesn't matter what it is, just go search your deck for a Pokemon and put it in your hand. It is our main attacker in the deck, so we will be using its Rumbling March attack. For fighting and fighting, it does 180, plus another 40 for each stage 2 on our bench. This is actually really good. We can potentially get this thing moving very quickly. We love to see this thing, and it does pair very well. It has a ton of synergy with Pidgeot EX. Pidgeot EX, with its quick search ability, go search your deck for one card in your entire deck and just put it in your hand. You can't use more than one quick search, but that's okay, because with Mamoswine, we can go get all the Pokemon we need, potentially have Mamoswine looking for Pidgeot, Pidgeot go looking for another Rare Candy, then go into another Mamoswine, and then it just snowballs out of control. You could have very good turns with this deck. It does have the attack Blustery Wind for just 2 colorless, and it does 120, but you may discard a stadium in play. So there's the potential to potentially get rid of something like Area Zero Under Depths, or get rid of a Artazon that we have in play that we don't want them to have. There's a couple other ones. Neutralization Zone would be another one. So yes, sure, we don't probably knock out the Pokemon, but we do get rid of that Neutralization Zone. So this is a good way to get rid of a stadium if it's in play and you really don't want it to be. We do have the Fezandipiti EX. Everybody knows what it does by now. Flip the script. If one of your Pokemon were knocked out on their turn, draw 3 cards. You can't use it more than once per turn. And we have, I think, a couple of really cool ideas here. Yes, I will admit, I did steal this particular card from Azul. I think he has a good idea with this. It does give us a little bit more coverage, which I think is very strong going into a new meta. We've got the Klinklang. Klinklang, with its Emergency Rotation ability, says once per turn, if this Pokemon is in your hand and your opponent has a stage 2 in play, you can go ahead and put this on the bench. It does have a fantastic attack in Hyper Ray. Also, 2 colorless energy, does 130, and then you discard all energy from this Pokemon. That's not great, but 130 could be knocking out a lot of things. Your Duraludons, for example, all have 130. There's multiple Pokemon that are just above 120, and, well, Klinklang can knock those guys out. We do also run with a very similar ability, the Luxray. Luxray with its Swelling Flash ability. During your turn, if this Pokemon is in your hand and you have more prize cards than your opponent, you can put this Pokemon on your bench. And I don't think there's a problem with this. We're putting stage 2s down. We want stage 2s because of Mamoswine. So Luxray and Klinklang really can help us out, get that extra 40 damage for a big KO. It does have the attack Wild Charge for lightning, colorless, and colorless. Does 180, but this Pokemon also does 20 damage to itself, which, it being a stage 2, it being able to be played by itself, the benefits far outweigh the cons on this one. 20 damage to itself isn't a big deal. Yes, it can get knocked out a little easier, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. We do run the Garganacl with its Energizing Salt Rock. We don't run the middle stage, but that's okay. We've got plenty of rare candies and plenty of ways to search them out. But with Energizing Rock Salt, once per turn, you may attach a fighting energy from your discard to one of your Pokemon. If you do this, heal 30 damage from the Pokemon you attach the energy to. So now we could potentially even be healing Mamoswine out of KO range, and that very easily could mean we're doing really well. We've potentially got another attack off, and we're just gonna keep moving forward. I decided to add in the Annihilape. It goes around so many different things. It definitely gets around your Mimikyus, it gets around your Milotics, it gets around all of the things that are kind of starting to wall off things, and it doesn't really care about Gastrodon because it doesn't have an ability. Gastrodon is a problem for this deck. Luckily, right now, it is not being run in the format because Mamoswine hasn't taken off yet. It very may well come Atlanta, but for one Fighting Energy Tantrum, it does 130, but Annihilape is confused, which isn't really a problem, it being confused. The likelihood of it being knocked out is fairly high. It only has 140 HP. It does have 2 retreat costs, but I'm okay with that because if I get 2 energy on it, I'm not retreating. I am using Destined Fight for fighting and colorless. Both active Pokemon are knocked out. So if we can get this into the active with, say, something like, I don't know, Charizard, or if we can get this into the active with, say, something like Milotic or Farigiraf, or anything that kind of walls us off, Annihilape can just say, nah, 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 and destroy it. So I kind of like the Annihilape here. Going forward, most builds will be Arven builds, so that includes this deck. We have Arven. Arven just lets you go search for an item and a tool card and put them in your hand. We do have quite a couple tools. Can't say quite a couple if there's only a couple. We do have a couple of tools. The TM Evo is actually very important, so Arven is actually very important as well. We do run the Iono. Both players shuffle their hand and put them at the bottom of the deck. Then you draw however many prize cards you have remaining. And just the one boss. I wish we had more. I'm gonna talk about that more at the end, so stay tuned. But boss, pull up a bench to the active on your opponent's side of the field. There's 2 cards that I want to highlight real quick. We've got the Reversal Energy, which is more or less used for the Klinklang and for the Luxray, especially the Luxray because that's already needing to have more prize cards, which Reversal Energy does as well. As long as it's attached to a Stage 2 non-EX, non-rule box Pokemon, and you have more prize cards than your opponent, you get 3 energy of any kind. So we can just attach to Luxray and swing. This is really quite good. And we do run the Neo Upper Energy. As long as this card is attached to a Stage 2, you get to use 2 of any energy type. If it's attached to anything else, it only provides 1 colorless, but Neo Upper Energy, if it's attached to a Stage 2, you're getting 2 of any type of energy that you want, and I like that a lot. Anyway, that's the deck list. Let's go ahead and get into it and see how we do. Okay, just waiting on them to finish up. We should be good. There's 8 of you guys here. If you guys are new, it would really be appreciative if you guys could. Ooh, Buddy-Buddy helps us out. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a Swinub and a Pidgey. And then we'll go ahead and just deal with it. Now, the Klinklang and the Luxray are not really usable here. I know there's a ton of different builds for Mamoswine. I kind of took a couple of them that I really liked, some that I saw over from Japan. I definitely looked at Azul's. So there's a couple different maybe ideas in here. The Klinklang was definitely from Azul, I will admit. But it also depends on your meta and whether your meta is getting things done the way you want it to. And right now, the online meta is not quite doing what I'd like it to do, which is to play more Stage 2. Deck. Rare Candy into the Pidgeot. Pidgeot. Into the Mamoswine. Rare Candy, the Swinub. Attach. And we Iono to get 6 fresh cards. This is actually pretty decent for us. Okay, another another Piloswine down. Ooh, another Pidgey down. Swinub we could. I don't remember how many Mamoswine we had. But we can do Mammoth Hauler and find out. Let's see. We have 2 more. Okay, so. I don't mind right this second. Right this second, I don't mind getting a Nacli. Nacli down, and Swinub down. We can do the Arven next turn. As of right now, we are hitting this Rumbling March. We're hitting this Inzarua pretty hard. Take the one, see what we get. An Ultra Ball. We can... Okay, we gotta get things moving here. Mamoswine for Pidgeot, Arven for Rare Candy. Inzoroark is weak to grass. Actually, we might be able to boss here instead of Arven, because Mamoswine. Okay, I think I know how I want to do it. I think I know how I want to do it. Now, if this deck, if Mamoswine does get popular, boy, we could see TM de-evolution really get played. Like, really get played. But I don't know that we do. I don't know that Mamoswine is the... I don't know that Mamoswine's the deck to beat all decks. They do have free retreat here. Okay, so he could be hitting us with Virtuous Flame. I guess uses Virtuous Flame. But, yeah. We, depending on what we top deck, okay, so hang on. Mamoswine for Mammoth Hauler. We are going to go and get ourselves another Mamoswine. Mamoswine evolves. Pidgeot. Pidgeot to get us the boss here. Attach Energy. Boss. Pull up Fez. We can then Mammoth Hauler here. Go and get ourselves... Do we have another... Okay, we don't. Let's get ourselves the Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto gets played. We are currently doing plenty. We should be okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and Rumbling March and take out this Fez. Two more Arvens. Okay. Arven to get us... Actually, Mamoswine to get Pidgeot. Pidgeot to get... We should be able to actually attack for more than enough. Yep. This Mamoswine goes down, but I'm not as worried as you might think. Because... Okay. Gets rid of the max belt. I don't think he can hit our numbers anyway, so he's going to need to be using something different. Ends PP up. What does this do? Attach basic energy. Okay. Okay, so this Mamoswine goes down. We knew that. I think we got this. Mamoswine comes up. And we get the Mankey. Let's go ahead and attach here. We can then... Actually, I don't mind this. Drop that, drop that. let's go and get ourselves the Garganacl here. Arven to get Rare Candy and Defiance Band. Mammoth Hauler goes and gets another Pidgeot. Attach. Currently hitting 260, which actually is enough. So we'll Rare Candy onto the Garganacl. Drop that there, and let's quick search here. For Fez. Fez drops, and we've got Flip the Script. Neo Upper Energy. Okay. I don't mind energizing Rock Salt here to throw on a Fez to retreat later. But as of right now, we have enough. We'll go ahead and knock out this Zoroark. And a Piloswine. Okay. Doing pretty good with this Mamoswine right this second. I think we've got game. It'll depend on a couple things, but I think we might be able to swing the game here. But it'll depend. An Iono. Okay, we don't have... Well, we still have the Pidgeots, so we're not nearly as worried about that as you might think. Because I'm pretty sure we run... Okay, we run Arven, Iono, and Boss. We may want to switch one of those Ionos to a Professor, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, attaches. Trades away. Okay, we've got game, because I don't think he can knock us out from here. And I'm pretty sure we've got enough to knock out. I'm pretty sure we're doing 300 right now. We are. We'll just take the win. Not bad, guys. Not as bad as I thought. Wow, we had 3 Arven prized. Ooh, that's bad. We lucked out there. I've also got the League Challenge that I'm still editing, and that I've got down to just about an hour. I could probably cut it down to maybe just less than. I got about 8 minutes I could probably cut out of it. 8-9 minutes, depends on what it is. But, yes, we do want to go first. Okay, what do we get here? A whole lot of nothing. And we do get the Swinub. Okay. 1 mulligan. Okay. Swinub down. Doing so hot here, are we? It's okay. It is our turn, though. And luckily we probably... Okay, we have the Nacli. That's at least something. We can drop that there. And yeah, we'll go ahead and be done. We do have weakness into, I think, most of hers. Most of Iono, with the exception of Wattrels. The Wattrel and Kilowattrels. Boss's order up the Nacli. I'm not upset with that. I'm not upset with that. And does get it, and does 20 more damage. Depends on what we pull here. Okay. Arven to get the Rare Candy, and to get an evolution here. We'll get Defiance Band, actually. Rare Candy into the Mamoswine. Defiance Band. Neo Upper. We can then Mammoth March into a... We could do it into a Pidgey. Yeah, we'll do it into a Pidgey. Drop the Pidgey, and we can end our turn. Do something with this. We could do something with this. We do have to be careful of this Voltorb. We actually have to be very careful of this Voltorb. How we go from here, nobody knows. This Nacli going down isn't nearly as... Well, we know exactly where we go from here. Let's get that Pidgeot going. Rare Candy. Into Pidgeot. Pidgeot. Quick search. Into our Switch, believe it or not. That there. Swinub, Buddy-Buddy here. Another Pidgey. I don't hate that at all, especially with Pidgeots being so weak to lightning. We could have problems. We need to have Pidgeys up and running as fast as possible here. Yes, still at it, victory. Still at it. We can go ahead and we do knock out here, so we'll just go ahead and Rumbling March and take the knockout. Yep, I stream for about 3 hours every Wednesday. Nothing special there, victory. But we are doing Mamoswine now, so we'll see how we do. Right now, we do have it pretty decently. We did have one win against an Inns deck, so there's that. Okay, we've got more cards being tossed. Buddy-Buddy probably for the Time Pole. Is it Time Pole? Tadpole. Time Pole. The other one is the Seismitoad. No, Electros. (1v1u)? We'll see. Okay, the one more gets dropped. Okay. This will do 20 plus 40, so 60 damage to the Mamoswine. This is a full Iono deck. Okay, here we go. Arven. Okay. I actually... Hang on, let's look and see. We don't have any energy, that's fine. What we can do is Arven here. Let's get ourselves a Rare Candy. Evolution, just to get it out of the deck so we don't draw into it next turn. We can then Mamoswine. Mammoth Hauler. No worries, don't feel bad about that. Let's... You know what? Let's get Mamoswine here. We can then quick search for another Rare Candy that we don't have, apparently. That's okay. Let's see. We'll just go into the Piloswine, I guess. Piloswine there. We can get rid of the Mamoswine and the Evo here, because we can go and get ourselves... Garganacl's not in here! Okay. That's the case. Sure. We'll go get Annihilape, I guess. Mankey down. Save everything for at the moment. Let's see. That one Marsupial wouldn't do much for us, but we'll go ahead and Rumbling March and take out another one of the Pokemon. Yeah, not hurting my feelings, bud. And another Swinub. Okay. How many rare candies have we used so far? 2, 3. Okay, so 1 is in the prize cards. An Iono's Belly Bolt. Here we go. A Kilowattrel comes down. And they'll just concede they didn't have what they had. We would have gone and searched, for sure, we would have gone and searched for the boss's order and started taking out, like, Belly Bolt, started taking out their acceleration engine. And there you go, Mamoswine EX. I really do like this thing. I think the meta isn't used to it yet, which is why I did so well and why it does so well currently. Now, don't get me wrong, Zoroark is probably not the best archetype right now, so take that one with a grain of salt, but also, Mamoswine does really well in the format. It can hit for a ton of damage, nothing really survives. As you saw, it can hit for 300 and up to 340, I believe it is, which is fantastic. You got your searches and your draws, and it just, everything moves so quickly and it synergizes so well. I love this thing. But the big question is, what would I change in this? Honestly, I would probably change the Annihilape out. Yeah, I would change the Annihilape out, and I would probably put in Garchomp. Maybe a 1-1 line, maybe a 1-1-1 line, 1-1-1, yeah, 3. The Gibble, Gabite, and Garchomp EX. I think that's a really good one, or a really good way of doing things. I would like to see 1 more rare candy. 4 is not enough, so it's important to throw that out there. Instead of the Energy Search, I would probably put in a Earthen Vessel. Instead of the Klinklang, I would probably put in another Switch. The Artazon is important, so maybe even look into a Chorus's Experiment if you're going to run Neo Upper Energy. If you're not, I would change the Artazon into would probably change the Neo Upper Energy actually into the Grand Tree. It's important to get things up, but if you're going to run Grand Tree, I would try to find more ways, maybe even find the middle stage of Garganacl to put that in here. I do like Garganacl, but also the ability to have Garchomp in here and also accelerate energies back onto your field, I think is equally important. So you could even potentially get rid of Garganacl and go full Garchomp with a 2-1-2 line. I don't see how that could be a problem. Other than the fact that Milotic doesn't get, other than Milotic walling you off. But at that same time, once you have that, you can then get even more damage if somebody puts down an Area 0 because you have the Garchomp. So I think all of those things make Garchomp probably the more optimal choice. I know that I personally will probably be running something like that in real life. Would I take this to a Cupper challenge? Yes, absolutely. Especially considering the meta now makes it legal this coming weekend. We've got Atlanta, the first regional, it will be legal. Journey Together will be legal. And so I think Mamoswine is poised to be really quite strong in the meta very early on. Once people realize that all they need is a Gastrodon to lock you out, well, then we're going to have to start looking at things differently. And who knows, maybe we'll come back to this deck at a later time. Overall, yes, I would take this to a Cupper challenge. Would I take this to a regional? I don't know quite yet. Unfortunately, I don't think it has a ton of really great matchups into something like Dragapult, where you have to have a couple of different Pokemon on the field. Especially if Dragapult is running the Sparkling Crystal, it's very quick. So maybe this isn't the best deck for the format. Again, Dragapult I still think is the best. Look out for that video coming this Friday. But overall, yes, I would probably take this to a regional, but I don't think that I would expect to go far with it. Do I think Mamoswine is good? Yes, and I would definitely bring this to a Cupper challenge. So there's your answer there. Anyway, if you would, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all the things that continue to help me do this. You guys have been fantastic. We've got Atlanta coming up. I've got plenty of things down the pipeline. You guys have given me the best live stream that I've had so far last week, and I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you. And with that, have fun, stay safe, I love you.